Welcome, yogis. Today we are going to learn the beginner version of Moon Salutations. So if you're new to yoga or have never done Moon Sals, this is a great place to start. As far as props, I always recommend to have a block at either end of your yoga mat when we do Moon Sals. You may or may not need it, but it just makes it a little easier to know that it's there when you do. If you don't have a block, you can use a box, a book, anything just to have the ground come up a little bit closer when we're bending over if our flexibility isn't quite there yet, or if we need some help with our balance. So take your seat in the middle of your mat. You want to have the long side of your mat facing forward. So that's one thing that is different with Moon Salutations. And then today in our class, I will be discussing, as we go through the poses, some of the symbolism we can find in Moon Salutations. They're very different from Sun Salutations, and you'll see as we go. Find your seat, and we'll get warmed up first. You never just want to jump into one without a warm-up. So in our easy seats, let's settle in. Start to close the eyes or soften the face. Relax the shoulders. Arms can be down in your lap or on your thighs. And we'll open our class today with 3 rounds of deep breath. I use this in almost every entry or opening of a class to help us switch gears, to let go of anything that isn't related to yoga and just clear our mind for our practice. So first round, let's take a big inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And don't be afraid to sigh it out. Second one, inhale and exhale. And final breath, big breath in. Feel the lungs in all directions. And exhale. Feel all the muscles soften and relax. From here, return to just a normal breath, one you don't need to think about. And we'll take your right ear down to your right shoulder, stretching through the neck, continuing to sit up tall. And you have the option to reach your left arm out to help deepen that stretch through the neck and shoulder. And then from here, we'll turn our gaze or our head to look down towards the floor as if we're looking into a shirt pocket, just to change up the stretch in the neck. And inhale, come back up to center. We'll do the other side. So left ear to left shoulder, right hand can reach out to deepen the stretch if you want. And turn the head to look down. Inhale, come back up to center. Let's roll the shoulders up to the ears and down a few times. And then relax them down, hands on knees, and we'll do some torso circles. So lean forward, to the side, to the back, and around. And we'll go both directions, so it doesn't matter which way you're going. And switch sides if you haven't already. And you'll notice today in our Moon Sals, we do a lot of lateral movement side to side. And so in our warm-up, we'll reflect that. So you can come back to your easy seat and walk both hands out, flip the palms up. Then we'll take our sun breaths. So inhale, reach the arms up overhead, gaze up at your hands. Exhale, relax everything down. Second one, inhale and up. Exhale, float down. And last one, we'll inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Then take your right hand down to the floor or the mat. Left arm reaches up and we'll lean to the side, stretching down through the shoulder and the lats. And when you do your side stretch, if you notice you're starting to cave the chest forward, let's try to keep it open and up. Chest should face forward, maybe even a little bit up towards the ceiling. Inhale, both arms lift up, and we'll go the other way. Left hand down, right arm reaches up and over for our side stretch on this side. Continue to breathe through any stretch we do today. And inhale, arms up. And exhale, let's float the hands down. All right, moving on a little bit deeper into our warm-up, we'll roll onto hands and knees now. We'll do some cats and cows here to warm up the spine, starting with a cow pose. Lift the tailbone up, let the lower back arch, pull the shoulder blades back. Inhale, gaze forward. And then reverse everything for our cat pose. So tuck the tailbone, round the back, shoulders push into the mat, coming forward, chin tucks down to the chest. Exhale all the way out. And inhale, return to cow. Exhale to cat. And go back and forth through your cats and cows at your own pace. We'll do a few rounds here just to warm up the spine, moving with the breath. One nice thing about Moon Salutations is we are rarely ever on our wrists. This will be just about the only time we're bearing weight on our wrists today. So if you have wrist pain, this is a good flow for you. Moon Salutations give us a break from chaturangas and vinyasa flows. All right, wherever you're at, let's come back to our tabletop. And we'll step your left foot back, whatever side is facing the TV. And then take that foot, step it over all the way onto the floor, the carpet, off your mat, all the way past the mat. Look over your shoulder at that back foot, getting a side stretch. And then come back to center. Other side. Right foot steps back. Lift it up, bring it way over. Cross the mat to the floor. Look over your shoulder. Side stretch. And then bring it back, and we can widen out the knees, draw the feet together, come down to a child's pose, drawing the head and chest to the floor. Your arms can bend if that's easier on the shoulders. We'll take a little rest here, taking a few breaths to center ourselves. Your child's pose is a good opportunity to see how you feel so far in class, if anything's bothering you, if anything's sore that you need to be careful with in your body today. You can also assess your mood. If you've got thoughts racing through your head about work or home, throw those out. They're not going to help you during the rest of class. All right, so one more breath in our not downward dog. One more breath in our child's pose. And then from here, we'll inhale and lift up back to our tabletop. Step the feet back, lift the hips, bend the knees, come to downward facing dog. There we are. Pedal the feet out a little bit. Maybe rolling out the wrists. Ooh, not the wrists, the ankles. I'm really messing up today. It's early. Find any little movements that feel good. And then we'll bend the knees a little deeper. Gaze up at your hands and walk your feet up so that you can rise up to mountain at the top of your mat. And then face me, find the center of your mat on the long side, and we're ready to start our Moon Salutations. So we do these in a different orientation on the mat. Normally in yoga, we're at the top of the mat on the narrow side. Today in Moon Sals, we're facing the long edge, so it's a little different. Find a mountain pose, feet under your hips, standing tall, cores engaged, arms down. And let's get started. Inhale, take your sun breath arms, reaching up overhead, and we'll bring our palms together. You can either have prayer hands, just palms together, or you can interlace the fingers or do even a mudra. This is Kali mudra, whatever feels good for you. and we'll steeple to the right. So let's bend over to the right. Everything from the navel up moves, from the navel down stays steady. Inhale up to center. Exhale the other way. Inhale to center. Release the hands. We'll step out wide and take a goddess pose. So goddess enters and exits each moon sal. So that's always the first and last pose that we'll do in our goddess. Knees angling back. They're not kind of caving in. Feet are flat on the floor. Arms are open like goalposts. And then inhale and reach up to star pose, making a big X with the body, straight arms, straight legs. So star pose in moon sals represents the full moon, bright, shining light, full of energy. We're going to go through all 4 phases of the moon in a symbolic way, you'll see. From here, left leg turns out, right toes face me, and find a warrior 2. In our warrior 2, if you look down, your front heel is in line with the arch of the back foot, knee is over ankle, shoulders are over hips. We're not leaning or popping the hips out. Arms are in a straight line. Here we go, warrior 2. So as you see, our energy has gone from bright, shining, reaching up to a little bit lower. So think of a waning moon. It's losing some of its light, some of its energy. Back arm now transitions down and forward. Our hips and shoulders pivot to face the short edge of the mat. The back foot pivots into a warrior 1 pose. Heel is down, toes are out just a little bit to be comfortable on the knee and hip. Shoulders and ribs face forward and arms can come up. Moon salutations are pretty heavy on holding the arms up, so if your shoulders get tired, hands at the heart feels much better. Either one is fine. In your warrior 1 here, take a breath or 2. Our light is dimming even further. The moon is waning even further. So from here, we'll inhale, reach a little higher, and then exhale and bring your hands down to your mat. Lower the back knee down for a low lunge, and this is where this block right here comes in handy. You can use it under your hand. Find a little bit more comfort in your low lunge. Knees over ankle. Shoulders can be over your hips, or we can be leaning forward a bit if that's a little easier for you. So our low lunge represents an even dimmer moon, close to a crescent. If you are able, you're welcome to try to lift the arms here into crescent lunge. It's more challenging. And if you feel any pain in your lower back, keep the hands down or use your block. But crescent lunge represents the crescent moon phase. We'll inhale and then exhale. Fold the hands down. Move your block out of the way. It's going to stay at this end of the mat. Tuck your toe, lift your knee, walk your hands around to a wide-legged forward fold. This represents our new moon phase where there's no light in the sky. So you can see it's really the opposite of our star pose where we started. And you can widen your stance a little bit to bring the ground closer so it's more comfortable here. Let's let the head hang down. You don't need to see what I'm doing for a moment. You can relax the neck. You should be able to shake your head yes and no with ease. Take a breath or 2 if you feel that you're being exerted. This is a rest pose, our closest that we'll get to a rest pose in a moon salutation. And then we'll walk our hands over to the right, pivot the lower body, and come to a low lunge on this side. Look, we have a block right here waiting for us. And this is where moon sals get interesting. We're going to do everything we've already done, but in reverse order. So if you think of the face of a clock, we went down this way in a big circle. Now we're going to come back up. You'll see it'll make a lot more sense once you've done it a few times. In our low lunge here, you could stay here, or hands at the heart, or reach up for a crescent lunge. We would now be the waxing crescent lunge where the moon is waxing crescent moon, where the moon is gaining light now in the sky and growing bigger. Wherever you're at, hands can come back down to the mat. Move your block out of your way. Tuck the toes, lift the back knee. We'll step up just a little bit so that we can rise up and find our warrior one. Heels down, toes out, arms up or at the chest. Take a breath or two in our warrior one. And we are moving more into the half moon, gaining light, gaining energy. And then we'll transition to warrior two. So the back foot pivots to face me. Right toes are facing out. Arms open wide. Warrior two. Even more moonlight shining. Nice and tall, nice and strong. And then finally pivot the feet to face me. Reach the arms up for star pose. We've come full circle into our full moon phase again. And to close out the moon salutation, bend the knees and elbows, come to goddess. Step the feet together, hands up overhead, palms together. We'll steeple now to the left. Inhale up and steeple to the right. Inhale up and relax the hands down. Roll out the shoulders, shake out a little bit, take a little break. That was one moon salutation, but we can't just do one. I like to keep it even. Even though we did symmetrical poses, I always feel like we need to do the circle again in the opposite direction to fully do a moon salutation practice. So that's what we're going to do. Find your mountain in the middle of the mat. Now you have an idea of what we're going to do, what to expect. All right, inhale, reach the arms up, palms together. This time we'll steeple to the left to start with. I can never remember which side you're supposed to start with. So if I switch it up a bunch and you get confused, just know that I'm making it up as I go sometimes. All right, other side, back up to center, and we'll take a wide step into goddess. Nice and strong and tall, opening up our second moon salutation. Inhale, reach up to star, full moon phase, bright shining energy. And this time we're going in the opposite direction. So your right foot points out, left foot to me. Find a warrior two with the right foot forward, still facing your computer screen, your cell phone, your TV, whatever you're watching on. Standing tall, enjoying a warrior two here. Breath or two. And then the back arm can float down and forward. Everything in the lower body pivots into warrior one. So hips, shoulders, ribs are all facing forward. Arms can reach up. Moving into our waning half moon. Losing some power, losing some light. Let's exhale. Hands come down. Lower your back knee and find your low lunge again. If your knee hurts to kneel on it, you don't have to kneel. You could be in a lunge like this with the knee lifted, just a little more challenging. So I prefer knee down, but do what feels better for your body. And if you want to reach up for a crescent lunge, let's lift those arms up, shooting the energy up. Strong use of your core here to keep the weight from sinking into the lower back. Crescent moon. And we'll exhale, hands down, move your block. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, walk your hands around to a wide-legged forward fold, widening as needed to be able to reach the ground. Find a little movement side to side if that feels good in the hips and the back. And let the head relax and hang. There's nothing to watch right now. Just feel the pose. This is our halfway point in the moon salutation, so it's good to take a little rest. And then when you're ready, let's walk the hands over to the left foot. Everything pivots so that we can start the cycle again in reverse order. Find your low lunge on this side, using whatever option feels good for you at this time, knowing you can change it up throughout the practice if you start to get fatigued, if something doesn't feel right or starts to hurt, or if you decide you want, hey, I can challenge myself. I know what we're doing now, second time around, I'm going to try the harder version. So inhale, arms up for crescent lunge if you want to do a crescent lunge. We'll exhale, hands come down, move your props. Lift the back knee and then take a little hop or step with the back foot. Rise up for warrior one. Gaining light now in our, I would say, half moon, waxing half moon, coming back up full strength. Open up the arms, pivot that back foot to come to your warrior two. We're almost there, a little bit further. Then pivot the feet to face me. Reach on up, full moon again in our star pose. And bend the knees. Find your goddess to close out this moon salutation. Step the feet together, arms up. Let's steeple to the right this time. Again, it could be random, making it up. Inhale to center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale up. Exhale, relax the arms, roll out those shoulders, wiggle out the arms and legs, whatever feels good. And we made it. That was our beginner version of Moon Salutations. We did one in one direction and then the reverse in the other direction to get it complete and balanced. As you can see, you can use them to imagine working through different phases of the moon cycle. We can apply this to our life. Maybe we aren't happy every single day or energetic every single day. We've got ups and downs and cycles of our own, and we can still be productive, still be okay, because we know we'll eventually make it back up to that bright, shining star pose again. So from here, we're going to do a little cool down and then a short shavasana just to finish off our practice. So we did a warm up, let's make it complete. So find the top of your short-sided mat, Find a mountain. Inhale and arms reach up. And let's bring the palms together down at our heart. And exhale into a chair pose. Just take a little squat here. Weights in your heels. Slowing down the breath in our cool down. And then exhale, hands come down in a forward fold. Now look, magically we have a block here. If we want the block under the hands, we can use that to make it a little gentler. And then you can always bend the knees to help out the lower back. And we'll take a little hang here in our forward fold. Again, relaxing the head and neck down. And if you want to sway a little side to side, you can do that if that feels good. And then inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, hands all the way down. Step one foot back and lower the knee. Step the other foot back, lower that knee. And then we'll swivel our legs around. Bringing the feet all the way up to the front edge of the mat. I hope you didn't see my feet. They're really dirty. I'm in my garage. That's why. All right, we'll find a staff pose here. Staff pose means sitting like an L. Tall spine, straight legs. It's pretty difficult if you're not used to it. So your hands can be at the floor to help lift you up. And we'll make our way down to our backs to corpse pose. So two options. You can carefully guide yourself down with hands and elbows. Or if you want a challenge, you can hold your arms out in front and use just your core. Or if you want even more of a challenge, take a block in your arms as a little weight, something to squeeze the arms on, and roll down with that. So wherever you're at, let's start to curl in with the spine. Use your core and roll down slowly, fighting gravity, using control here, no momentum. And if you start to lose it, use your elbows, use your arms for support. Come all the way down on your back, careful of props. Reach the arms up overhead, get a big full body stretch in. And then let's pull the right knee into the chest. Take a little breath. And then take that knee and roll it around in a circle. And then roll it around in the opposite direction. Take the right knee, cross it over the body into a reclined twist, and you can reach out with the opposite arm to bring the stretch up into the chest, finding whatever angle in the shoulder feels good. We're in our cool down. So these are great poses where we don't need to worry about balance or strength. We have the energy now to focus on our breath, slowing down our inhales and exhales to help our heart rate slow down and start to enter that recovery mode. All right, let's roll back to center here. Left knee pulls in, right leg lengthens out, and we'll do our knee circles, a few in each direction with the left knee. And then take that knee, cross it over the body, find a reclined twist. Opposite arm reaches out behind you. Use your breath to slow down and sink into the stretch. If a reclined twist is a little too much for you, maybe too intense, you can grab the nearest block, place it under that knee to give a little support there so your body's not getting pulled too far. And of course, blocks have 3 sides, so it could be any height that feels good. And then we'll inhale and roll back to center on our backs. Let's pull both knees into the chest here, hug them in, roll them around, massage the lower back against that mat. And then finally, we are ready for Shavasana, sliding the feet down, finding our version of corpse pose. Traditional corpse pose is just laying flat on your back. But if that's not comfortable for you, there are plenty of other options. I personally prefer to have my knees bent to support my lower back. Some people like to have a wider stance in their feet and have their knees drape inward. Maybe you've got pillows or blankets nearby that you want to use. So find anything that will help you get as comfortable as possible with the least amount of distractions, and we'll take a short Shavasana here. Settling into your final rest pose. Appreciating everything your body was able to do today in class and letting go of any frustration, disappointment at what it wasn't able to do. Relax the face, the eyes, the shoulders, the hips, hands and feet. And as your breath slows and your body finds rest, allow your mind to wander off wherever it wants to go, giving yourself just a minute of me time. And when you're ready to come out of your Shavasana, let's start by taking a deeper breath, filling the lungs with some fresh air, And then finding movement in the fingers and toes, the wrists and ankles, rolling them out. Then we can find some larger movements in the arms, maybe reaching around for a hug, a stretch. And then into the legs, bending the knees, maybe rolling the legs around or rocking side to side. And at this point, you can open your eyes, come back to the room, and start to push yourself away from the floor. And we'll sit upright in our easy seat where we started. So that was our beginner version of Moon Salutations. Please check out my other videos, which are upcoming, that will include some harder versions, an intermediate version of Moon Salutations, and a revolved version. Each time I teach these in person, they're a little different, so it's fun to play around. There's lots of options to add in different poses and really make it fun. We'll see you next time. Namaste.